How can you involve the family to prevent the onset of a substance use disorder? How do you talk to your spouse about your teen or young adult's substance use? Well, in this video, you'll hear from Sarah Fletcher, the Chief Clinical Officer at Sandstone Care, as she explains how you can talk to your family to help a loved one who is struggling. Hey, it's Clint with Sandstone Care, where we help teens, young adults, and their families overcome challenges with substance use addiction and mental health conditions. All right, let's get right to it.
I think when it comes to the disagreement internally between your spouse, your partner, or your loved one about what you're experiencing versus what that partner is experiencing, we're not in a place where we can even address the adolescent's behavior yet. The number one thing that I recommend for couples and families is that they need to be a united front and they need to be on the same page before they move forward. And so communication, I know that I go back and forth over and over again about communication and how important it is, but it really is the staple of being able to address what's happening within a family dynamic. So for me, if there is a spouse or a loved one who's expressing concern about their child adolescent's behavior and their partner isn't on the same page, they need to seek support first, whether that's through therapy, it's just through internal communication and checking in with each other to make sure that they understand where the other person's coming from before they move forward. Because the first thing that is not going to work is if everybody's not on the same page and a united front, then we're already setting ourselves up for splitting behavior, for our long-term arguments down the line, and really creating disconnect with that child. So it's absolutely fine in my mind to have a difference of opinion. We're supposed to disagree. We're supposed to challenge each other because that's the only way that oftentimes we come to a better solution. However, when we aren't on the same page, it's super important that we listen to each other and we feel heard. And then in my mind, develop a plan to get to a good place.
Yeah, so if two parents don't agree, they have to be on the same page, is what I hear you saying. And I think if you went into a situation with a child and there was obvious contention between a mom and a dad, or mom and a mom, or dad and dad, whatever, right? If there's obvious contention between the parents and the child, then the child might feel like I'm causing my parents to fight. Like I'm the source of my parents' strife or whatever problems we're having. And so it seems like that might compound the problem that you started with, which is about substance use. Now it's not just, is it wrong that my kid is using substances? It's like, also, am I causing a marriage relationship problem between my parents, right?
Yeah. And not only can that cause and bring on those feelings of guilt and shame around, gosh, now I'm causing issues between my parents, it also gives opportunity to, hey, this is something that I could probably get away with, or this is something that I can use to my advantage from a strategic standpoint, because adolescents are very clever and they're very crafty. It's what makes them fascinating. It's an incredible stage of life that we all go through. And so adolescents and young adults will pick up on that tension, even if it's the very smallest level. And so that is why it is so incredibly important to make sure that both partners are on the same page before they move forward with any sort of intervention. Because I've had families come who are in disagreement, and my first recommendation is you guys got to get on the same page. We don't have to move forward with treatment, but if we're going to, we need everybody aligned. Otherwise, the chances of this being successful are really low, and then we're wasting everybody's time.
If you want to learn more about treatment options for you or your teen or young adult, then tell us about your situation on a confidential call using the number in the description box below. Or just live chat with us at sandstonecare.com. We'll connect you with the treatment that you need, and if we're not the right fit, we'll get you where you need to go. Be well, and remember that change is possible.